Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananasalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Narayana Parayana Jarahankara Nashana Rupa Nugamitra Prema Purujanayate Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Rahadikaye Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanitte Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Itti Namane Namashishtam Manamapi Sachiputram Atraha Swarupam Rupam Tasyajam Uruparim Maturim Gostavatam Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Rahadika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Pratikta Kripaya Shri Guru Tam Natosmi. So, by the kind generosity of the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, I've been given an opportunity to purify myself and speak a few words on this glorious day of Sri Radhastami. Sri Radhastami Maha Mahotsava Ki. So, on this day, over 5,000 years ago, the Supreme Purana Shakti of the Supreme Lord appeared in this world. And in the King of all scriptures, Grantarajam and Bhagavatam, the glories of Srimati Radhika have been spread throughout, but in a hidden way, because Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna, Rasak Shekhar, he is the connoisseur of all transcendental mellows, and the direct meaning, the Gaunavritti, doesn't please Krishna. The indirect communication, this is the way of the kavis, of the poets. So Sukadev Goswami, being Radharani's parrot, has hidden the name of Srimati Radhika in many covered ways throughout the Bhagavatam. And Maharaj Parikshit, he only had 7 days to live. So if Sukadev had have spoken Radharani's name, he would have gone into samadhi, into ecstasy, fall unconscious, and then 7 days would have quickly gone by and no Harikatha. So, out of mercy, Sukadev Goswami didn't speak Radharani's name directly. But in the 10th canto, chapter 5, verse 18, Suka has said, Tatya Arabhya Nandasya Vajaha Savya Samridinam Hare Niva Atma Gunai Radha Kridam Abhuam Nipra. Forgive my Sanskrit. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his transcendental qualities, and is therefore always naturally endowed with all opulences of all wealth. Yet beginning from the Lord Krishna's appearance there, it became the place for the pastimes of the goddess of fortune. And Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he's referencing here, also in the Brahma Samhita, that the abode of Krishna is always served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. Wherever Krishna goes, the goddesses of fortune naturally reside with him. The chief of the goddesses of fortune is Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Krishna's appearance in the land of Braja indicated that the chief goddess of fortune, Radharani, would also appear there very soon. Nanda Maharaj's abode was already opulent, and since Krishna had appeared, it would be opulent in all respects. So we see in so many of the avatars of the Supreme Lord that Shakti, she's always there. Just like in Badranath, Naranarayan Rishi, his Shakti appeared there as the Badri tree. So when he was doing tapasya to give him shelter, she appeared as the Badri tree in Badranath Dham. And 3 k's above Badranath is Mana, where the Vyas Gufa of our Srila Vyasadeva, after receiving blessings from Narad Rishi, he narrated to his scribe Ganesh, our Grantaraj, Shamram Bhagavatam. So sometimes there is some confusion. How old is Srimati Radhika? Because in the Gaga Smahita and also in, I think it's the Brahma Vivata Purana, it is said that Radharani is older than Krishna. But Bhakti Pramod Goswami Maharaj, and also he has told that Radharani, she is 1 year, 15 days younger than Krishna. And also Jiva Goswami Pad has told this in Gopal Chandpur. So Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he is saying that actually Shakti Shatamor obeyed, referencing one verse from Nai, the logic school. There is no difference between the potency and the possessor of the potency. So since Krishna appeared in the land of Braja, then at the same time his Shakti appeared. But for the sake of Leela, 1 year, 15 days later, we see the appearance of Srimati Radhika. And so sometimes our acharyas have told that Rishabhanu Maharaj, he was going to take bath early in the morning, and then he saw one golden lotus flower in the Jamuna, and there was one baby girl there. And then he was in a state of confusion. Oh, what should I do? If you're in the river and you saw a baby girl on a giant lotus, what would you do? You might be scratching your head. And then Lord Brahma appeared there, and Brahma said, don't worry, this is your daughter, so you should look after her. But our relationship with the son of Nanda Maharaj and the daughter of Rishabhanu Maharaj and Kradita, this is Sambandhu but Sambandha, natural human-like relationship. So this pastime of Rishabhanu Maharaj finding Srimati Radhika as a baby on the lotus flower, this is Vaibhav Prakash. This is an opulent, nimitic, occasional pastime, and our natural Sambandha but human-like relationship is just like Krishna was born from the womb of Mother Yashoda. Also, we want to have the conception that Srimati Radhika was born from the womb of Kradita. And so we don't want to get our vision to be eclipsed by any kind of Aishwarya Bhav, or else you will not be able to stay in Braja. Would have had to leave. Brahma had to leave. So we want to eternally stay in Braja. So we have to have that right conception to stay there. So Srimati Radhika, she appeared 1 year, 15 days after the appearance of Krishna in the land of Braja. And so our acharyas have also told that Radharani, her eyes didn't open and she didn't make any sound. And Rishabhanu Maharaj and Kradita, they were very overjoyed to have a baby daughter. And that tricky personality, Narad Rishi, he knew that the Supreme Lord had appeared in the land of Braja, so he thought, his Purna Shakti must also be there. So he was going here and there looking. And then he arrived at the house of Rishabhanu Maharaj. And then he knocked on the door and he said, Rishabhanu Maharaj gave pranams. Oh, hello, Honorable Rishi. And then he said, Narad Rishi said, do you have any newborn child? And then Rishabhanu Maharaj said, yes, we have a son. And they brought Sridham, 1 year old. And then Narad Rishi said, no, do you have a child that was born just now? And then Vishwabhanu Maharaj said, well, yes, actually we do. We have a baby daughter. But we haven't done any of the puja, any of the rituals yet. And would you be able to do it? Narad Rishi, yes. So Vishwabhanu Maharaj led Narad Rishi into the room. And then Narad Rishi said to Vishwabhanu Maharaj, you should get so many different articles for the rituals. So off Vishwabhanu Maharaj went, and then Narad Rishi, seeing the Purna Shakti of the Supreme Lord, the personification of all beauty, the Haldini Shakti, the pleasure potency, he closed his eyes and he was offering prayers. Maheshwari, Kriyeshwari, Swadeshwari, Sureshwari, Triveda Paradeshwari, Pramana Sashwadeshwari, Rameshwari, Shameshwari, Pramodakanaveshwari, Pradeshwari, Virapike, Sridadike, Namostute. And then he heard a noise. Hey, Baba, open your eyes. And it was Lalita. Because when he opened his eyes, he saw the Navakashori, the eternal form of Srimati Radhika, so beautiful, eternally 16 years old, surrounded by her Astasakis, Lalita, Vishaka, Champakalata, Indraleka, Chitraleka, Sudevi, Rangadevi, all there. And Lalita, being quite a bold personality, oh Baba, open your eyes. And then Narad Rishi, seeing the Astasakis and Srimati Radhika herself, he went into ecstasy and he almost fell unconscious, and he was rolling on the ground, his hair went out, his cloths were all dishevelled, and then just coming back in, Vishwabhanu Maharaj carrying the tray of ritual paraphernalia, and then all the Astasakis disappeared, and Radharani, she manifest her little baby form again. So just one little baby and Narad Rishi there. And then Vishwabhanu Maharaj, hey, what's going on? You all right? Oh yes, no, nothing's happening here. And Narad Rishi, he then got on with the rituals for little baby Radhika's ceremony. So then, after some time, word spread around the village that Vishwabhanu Maharaj has a very beautiful baby daughter. So, as what tends to happen in the village, all the villagers began to come round and, you have a baby daughter, offering their congratulations. So who arrived there? Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And so they were talking to Vishwabhanu Maharaj, and they brought one sham-coloured baby. And they put that 1-year-old, and they put that little 1-year-old down. And then as they were talking, but we think maybe our daughter has some problem. Maybe she's blind from birth. Maybe she has some disability. She's not making any sound. No sound for 15 days. No sound right up to this point Srimati Radhika has made. The mothers would be very worried. So this was going on, this conversation, and then little baby Krishna, 1-year-old, he made his way into the room where Srimati Radhika was lying in the cot. And he climbed up the cot and he pulled himself. And as the breeze of Krishna entered into the nose of Srimati Radhika opened her lotus eyes. And Krishna, looking into the eyes of Radhika was looking into the eyes of Krishna. So this is the first thing that Radha seen in this world. There's nothing to see in this world than Krishna, or things in relation to Krishna. We may not be qualified to see Krishna, but we can see things through the words of Sastra, through the words of our acharyas in relation to Krishna. Thomas Aquinas, from the Christian tradition, he has this conception, the prime mover. Ibn Sina in the Islamic tradition, he calls the necessary being. And in Vedanta, Adhikarta, the original doer, the prime mover. So through the process of natural theology, it absolutely takes you to the necessity of there being a prime mover. We can give the example, you may see many carriages of a train going together, and one carriage connected to the next. You say, oh, it's just cause and effect, cause and effect. But if you have a train track in a circle and you just have carriages, nothing will happen, nothing will move, because you need that train at the beginning with the engine. So that Sarvakana Karanam, that is Krishna, the necessary being. So many great thinkers of the various theistic religions, they all have the shared conception there must be a prime mover. But what sets Vedanta apart is they don't just say that he is the nimitta karan, he is the instrumental cause, but he is also the upadan karan. He is the ingredient cause of this manifestation. So we can see everything in relation to Krishna or Krishna's energies. So there's nothing to see in this world, there's nothing other than Krishna or Krishna's energy. There's no other, nothing exists apart from Krishna. So Srimati Radhika is showing by her own example, there's nothing to see other than Krishna. So in the Brihad Gautamiya Tantra, there is the defining verse of Sri Radhatattva. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sava Lakshmi Mai Kanti Samohani Para. So Srila Krishnath Kaviraj Goswami, he has really shared a lot on this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, because all of Radha Tattva is in this one verse. So Devi Krishna Mai, Devi. Devi means resplendent, most beautiful, or the abode of worship and love for Krishna. You know, there's some towns that you may go to for puja, for worship, for pilgrimage. Vrindavan, Mayapur, Navadvip. If you're a Hindu, you might go to Vaishno Devi. Or to follow Shiva, you might go to Kedarnath or Amarnath. So people, if you're a Muslim, you'll go to Mecca. So people go to certain places for puja, for pilgrimage. And then there's other towns you go to enjoy. People don't usually go to LA for pilgrimage. They don't go to the Bahamas, go to Parikrama in the Bahamas. So some places you go for pilgrimage, other places you go to enjoy. But Srimati Radhika is that place for Krishna, where he goes for worship and he goes to enjoy. So this is one of the meanings of the word Devi. Devi Krishna. Krishna Mai. Krishna Mai can mean through and through. She is totally saturated. All she sees is Krishna, inside and outside. Even when Krishna is not present, she's having spurti. Oh, there's Krishna. Oh, there's a tamal tree. Everything. Oh, there's a dark rain cloud. Krishna, Krishna. And even when Krishna is there, oh, where is Krishna? So internally, externally, Srimati Radhika's mind is saturated with Krishna through and through. And another meaning of Krishnamai, she is identical with Krishna. Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti Man, Durvada Vasanai, Sastra Praman. Radha and Krishna, they are eternally one, but they have one Atma, but they have taken two forms to exchange Prema Rasa, to exchange love, because you cannot have any exchange of love with one. There's no love in Brahman, no qualities. There's no aprakrit ananda, no supernatural love in the unvariegated emptiness of Brahman. So we have no desire to move in that direction. And her worship, Aradhana, consists of fulfilling all of the desires of Krishna. One day Krishna was sitting there and he was thinking, oh, I I give pleasure to everyone, but who will give pleasure to me? And then from his left side manifest one very beautiful goddess. And in that goddess, Krishna could see all my desires that I ever had, and even desires that I never knew I had. They will all be fulfilled by this very beautiful maiden. And because Davati, she was running in the direction of Krishna with great rag, loving attachment. Her rag, Davati, her name was Radha. So that's name Devi Krishna Mai, Radha. We could speak on hours and hours on just this verse. So I'm just touching on a few points here. So also we see the famous verse in the 10th canto, Anuradita Nunyam Bhagavam Hari Ishwaran Yanno Vivaha Govindaha Prito Yam Anyad Raha. Truly the personality of Godhead has been worshipped by her, therefore Govinda, being pleased, has brought her to a lonely spot and left us all behind. So in the Bhagavatam we see that Krishna leaves the Rasa Leela with Radhika, but then he even leaves Radhika. And then he leaves Braj Mandal. And so there's so many chapters in the 10th canto, but I think there's only 39, if I remember correctly, of Braj Leela. And then after that you're turning the page. When's he returning? When's he returning? Why has Sukadev done this to the devotees? Why has he given it like that? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, Bhajan is done in the Jivan Sunday. When you're about to leave your body, and if you've done some pious activity, your soul goes up and it comes out. And just as at the Utkanti, at that junction of life and death, when the soul is about to leave the body, this is Jivan Sunday, and this is the place where bhajan is done. When you're crying out, Ha Radhe, Hey Krishna, this is where bhajan is done. So we're reading the 10th, when's he returning? So our Atma, Krishna, if you don't return to Braja, I will leave my body. So Sukadeva has given us like this, so we can enter into bhajan under the guidance of our Guru Varga. So, did Krishna ever return to Vrindavan? Well, one, he never left. But also in Gopal Champu, Jiva Goswami has given the pastime of Krishna returning. So we've all heard of Shamkund, we've all heard of Radhakund, but also probably most of you have been to Krishna Kund. And Krishna, this is where he comes back and he meets with the Brajavasis. Very touching pastime. So much rasa in all of our scriptures. Devi Krishnamai Prokta Radhika Paradevata. She is the Paradevata. She is the supreme goddess. She is also Paramasundari, the topmost embodiment of beauty, because there is a correlation in the spiritual world. To the degree to which you have love, you have that much beauty. So, who is the most Krishna conscious personality? Who is it? Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, Sridham, his cows, Radharani. And she has the most love. So she has the most beauty. Paramasundari. And she's Sava Lakshmi. She is the origin of all Lakshmis. So in the Vaikuntha planets, each Vaikuntha planet has one Lakshmi. But in Braja, there are hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis running around. And what are they doing? Making cow patties, cooking roti, very sweet. But the chief maiden amongst all the Lakshmis of Braja, that is Radharani. And actually, Kaya Vyuha Roop, all of these different gopis in Vrindavan, they are simply the expansions of Srimati Radhika. So just as when Narad Rishi was giving pranams and he opened his eyes and the Astasakis were there, these are the 8 manovritis, the 8 main psychological tendencies of Srimati Radhika have taken form, the 8 chittavritis, and they have become goddesses in their own right. And each one embodies a different mood of Srimati Radhika, like Lalita Sakhi, when she's feeling very bold and she's contrary to Krishna. She doesn't want to meet with Krishna. Lalita is saying, no, you don't meet with that rascal boy. But sometimes Radharani, she's having many moods at the same time. So sometimes she may be in man, but also there's another part of her heart who wants to break that man and she wants to meet with Krishna. So then Tunya Vidya will come in and say, you should soften your heart. So these different moods of Radharani, they are all the gopis are simply the different manovritis of Srimati Radhika, Kaya Vyuharup. Just thinking about if your chittavritis, if the thoughts in your mind manifest outwards and became people, what would the world look like? But Radharani's beautiful inside and she's beautiful outside. So whatever manifests from her is also beautiful. Sarva Lakshmi and Sarvakanti, all beauty, all luster, it resides within her body. And Kanti can also mean all the desires of Krishna, they all rest within Srimati Radhika. And yet Krishna, he's all attractive. It's literally what his name means. All attractive. Nothing more attractive in all the 3 worlds than Krishna. Just like the sun with its gravitational pull is attracting all the planets and keeping them in orbit. So in the spiritual world, all in the different spiritual planets, those different forms of the Lord, they are like the sun, and all the associates are like the stars orientating around that central feature of that particular form of Bhagavan. And even in Braja, everything revolves around Krishna. His flute song can captivate all of the rishis, all of the cows. Everyone is very eager. All of the gopis become enchanted by the sounds of Krishna's flute. But when Krishna sees Srimati Radhika, he drops that flute on the ground. So how captivating. Mohini, she bewilders the mind of Krishna. Who can control the supreme controller? Who can do it? No one, but she can do it. How amazing is Srimati Radhika. And just as scent, just like sunshine and sun can never be separated, Radha and Krishna, they are eternally one. So, but they have taken 2 forms. Sri Krishna continued, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, my father, the cowherd boys, everything else are like my life and soul. And among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the gopis are my very life and soul. And among the gopis, you, Srimati Radhika, you are the chief. Therefore, you are my very life. Srila Prabhupada's purport on this, Srimati Radharani is the centre of all Vrindavan's activities. In Vrindavan, Krishna is the instrument of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan still chant Jaya Radhe. What do they say when you go to the shop? Even the rickshaw wala, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. They're not saying Hare Krishna, not saying Jai, sometimes, but no, Radhe Radhe. This is Radharani's place, Vrindavaneshwari. She is the empress. So this is our relationship. And this is coming, how is this coming to us? We didn't read this from some book. It might be there in the book, but Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he says you're reading, but you're reading in the dark. So what's the light switch? Sadhu Sangha. But not just any Sadhu Sangha. There's many sadhus. Rupanuga, Sadhu Sangha. Braj Rasic Sadhu Sangha. This is the light switch of brain. And then we can see, the glories of Srimati Radhika. Otherwise, our vision will be eclipsed with this Aishwarya Bhav. And Vaidhi Bhakti Nahi Shakti has no power to awaken the mood of Braja. But we cannot jump ahead either. We're not Sahaja. So, Krishna says, my dear Srimati Radharani, I am always subservient to the loving affairs of all of you. I am under your control only. My separation from you and residence in distant places has occurred to my misfortune. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he's praying in one of his songs, one who takes hold of Sri Radha's lotus feet with great care obtains the priceless jewel of Sri Krishna's lotus feet. Without the lotus feet of Sri Radha, one can never attain Krishna. All Vedic scriptures declare that Krishna belongs to the maidservants of Sri Radha. So those maidservants of Sri Radha, they are coming in this world, and that is our Guru Parampara. And it is by their mercy that we can understand, what is the position of Srimati Radhika? What is Krishna's relationship with Srimati Radhika? Because we are always saying, even if Krishna goes to Mathura, even if he goes to Dwarka, through the particular conception that we've been gifted, we are saying, Krishna is always just longing to get back to Braja. These Satyabhama, Rukmini, they can never satisfy Krishna. So our Rajijanandanandana Krishna is always longing for Srimati Radhika. And so a couple of words from our acharyas here. This is from Jiva Goswami Pad. For the purification of the heart, it is necessary, first of all, to listen to the chanting of the holy name. After the heart has been purified by listening to the holy name, the fitness for the manifestation's holy form is obtained by hearing the recital of the scriptural accounts of the divine form. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in one of his purports that all of our Gaudiya Parampara, they are either a manifestation of Nityananda Prabhu, or they are an eternal associate, close associate of Srimati Radhika. So first Guru comes, and if you want to make a nice garden, then you have to pull out the rocks and the trees and so many things. You can't just plant a very delicate seed in a rocky heart. So first Guru comes with bal, strength, and he prepares that heart, and he prepares the heart with the Sandini Shakti, because Balaram is the Adistatuary Devata of the Sandini Pradhan Vichar, that is existence potency. And without the platform of existence, no Samvit, no consciousness of Ishvara. But when there's that platform of Sandini Shakti, then that Samvit and the Haladini Shakti, they can have a platform to manifest their divine Leela. So without the mercy of Guru, it's not possible for Radha and Krishna's eternal Leela to manifest in our heart. And so first we may say, Gurudev, you are a manifestation of Baladev. This is Sandini Pradhan Vichar. But then as the heart becomes purified, we'll realize, our Guru Parampara, they are all the eternal maidservants of Srimati Radhika. Kamala Manjari, Nayamani Manjari, and they are coming, giving us a priceless gift. Namo Mahavaranyaya, causeless mercy. There's nothing we can do in the material world that gives us the qualification. We can understand from one point of view there's Sukriti and these kinds of things, but also there's a verse in Vedanta, Nahi Prakrit Gochara, the transcendental energy, the material energy has no jurisdiction over that. So there's nothing you can do in the material platform to try and obtain anything up there. So all of this is the causeless mercy of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And Mahaprabhu. But who is Mahaprabhu? Thank you for reminding me of something very wonderful. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was giving a speech one time, and he was remembering the words of his Gurudev. And Gopishwar Das Babaji Maharaj, he said, I never call myself a Gaudiya. You know why? Because a Gaudiya is something very high. The worshippers of Shakti, they're called Shaktas. The worshippers of Shiva, they're called Shaivites. And a worshipper of Krishna, they're called Karshnas. That word's actually there in Sanskrit, Karshnas or Vaishnavas. So why are we called Gaudiyas? Who's a Gaudiya? So one may say, oh, it's that cult from Bengal, etc., etc. A Gaudiya means a follower of she who is Gauri, has a golden form. So to be in the Gaudiya Sampradaya means you're a follower of Srimati Radharani. That's what it means to be a Gaudiya. And so this is nothing cheap. This is the highest thing in the whole universe. So Gokishwar Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta is remembering these, I never call myself a Gaudiya, because to be a follower of Srimati Radhika, who is qualified? Our Parampara is qualified, but who are we? We are, speaking for myself, like one dog, licking the rasgulla plate, thrown away by the Acharya, hoping to get some mercy. So, Pramod Puri Maharaj, he continues, those who lack the Rahasya Gyan, the knowledge of confidential truths, and try to be an intermediary for darshan of Radha Govinda, will find that knowledge is concealed for them. In the Maha Mantra, the word Hara, which denotes Rishabhanavi, becomes the word Hare. This is Sambodh Atmaka Pada, the vocative case. In the Maha Mantra, the word Ram refers to Radharaman in the vocative case. Those who have not achieved the qualification to enter Madhurya Rati have not obtained the Rahasya Gyan, considered here that Hari is simply a vocative form of Hari. And some even say that Rama means Atmaram, or they use it in some historical context, thinking Lord Ram. And this is not wrong, but this is not the sambandha that we are trying to cultivate in the mood of Rupa Goswami. Very specialized. So we should receive this right kind of sambandha gyan. One day, Param Gurudev, Nichili Pravishon Bishupada Sotara Satyashri and Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he was with the devotees in Singapore, and he asked them, why do you need a guru? What's the best thing about having a guru? And the devotees were saying, he's Sakshat Hari and all these kinds of things. Not wrong. And then Param Gurudev, he said, the number one thing that Guru gives is Sambandha Gyan, knowledge of your personal relationship with Radha and Krishna. Very, in time of Diksha, he's putting your hand in Krishna's hand. We may not realize this at the time, because Diksha is a process that goes on. Not so many people, they have the formality, but who's really receiving Diksha on that day? Maybe a very, very small number. So the heart needs to be prepared for this. So now a couple of words from Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. But Mahaprabhu accepted Parakya to be the highest attainment. Where Radha and Krishna, they are not married, but each other's heart did not know anyone else as their lover. Their hearts' automatic connection was full. It is not chance, coincidence, but rather fulfilled in necessity. Free love, recklessly crossing the directions and the influence of society and scriptures, crossing the conception of religious statements, and taking so much risk for the union with Krishna, holds the highest position. And then he shared a couple of other things which I thought was quite wonderful. Everything belongs to Krishna. Yashoda prepares everything for the satisfaction of Krishna, to make him eat, to feed him, making him so many preparations. But still Krishna's going off stealing butter, going here and there. Nanda Maharaj has 900,000 cows. There's no shortage of dairy products in the house of Mother Yashoda, but still Krishna's going here and there. And then so Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Maharaj, he's making the point. This is Krishna starting to show his autonomy, and also starting to show how being reckless is the highest manifestation of love, because he could just be at home eating, but actually that highest love. So even in Yashoda Damodar Leela, even when Krishna is a boy, he's already showing that the unconventional, the parakiya, in its very kind of early stage, he's already displaying it to us. I thought this was quite wonderful when I read this. So Raghunath Das Goswami, who we know, is our Parosian Tattva Acharya. The highest attainment or Parosian is supreme, and this is in relation to Raghunath Das Goswami, and he is the authority in that department. He has said that if we have too much affinity towards scriptural service, then we'll be thrown down to Paravayom. The title of this article is called Thrown Down to Vaikuntha. We won't be allowed to take our position in the land of freedom, where spontaneous love is the queen and regulates all. The queen of love will throw us down to Vaikuntha. Go there, do your duty according to scripture, according to calculation, according to the new excitement created by grandeur, awe and reverence, all of these things. Go there. And this was actually demonstrated by Ranabari Baba. I don't know if you know his history, but he was doing bhajan and Braj Mandal. I won't tell all of his history, but he had some desire, I want to go to Dwarka. So he went there, and then when he came back, he had a dream, and Radharani said, Chalo, what are you going there for? Because at that time, to go to Dwarka, you actually had to take initiation, and you had to get branded with fire. And so he took the brand, and he went there, and then when he came back, Radharani was like, why are you going there? You were already here in Braja, why are you going to Dwarka? And then, so he went round to so many great Vaishnavas, and they all said, this was the order of Srimati Radhika, you have to leave. And then he locked himself in his bhajan kutir, and he had such strong separation, his body literally started to burst into flames. And Gorkshur Das Babji Maharaj, he was close by at the time, and he eventually made his way there when his body was completely consumed, and he blessed him on the head, and he gave up his body. And every year in Braja, they still have a festival at that place, Ranabari Baba. So we want to be one-pointed. Who is our Ishtadev? And try to clip all these other, or else the creeper of devotion will start to go, oh, Nrsimhadev, and here. Okay, like, we know that Krishna has so many forms, Narahari Rupa, so many forms, but it's just like if you're boiling milk, and sometimes some grass goes into the milk, and then you don't see it, and then occasionally that piece of grass comes up, and then I'll just try and get that, but then it goes back down and scoffs. So sometimes in Braja, Krishna's Aishwarya comes up, just like Krishna manifested four-arm form, full Radharani. But in the presence of Radharani, what happened? Two arms disappeared. Just like Krishna shows, the whole universe, what's wrong with my boy? Better put some cow dung on him, purify him. So we want to have that conception. Even if the Aishwarya above comes up, we want to see it all in the light of Braj Mandal. We don't want our creeper of devotion to go in another direction. So we're very fortunate that our Guru Varga has very methodically cultivating us to go in that Kantak one-pointed bhakti to the Tatparya, to the goal of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is Radhadasya. So, and Radhastotram, a conversation between Brahma and Narad in the Brahmanda Purana, it is said, Radha is eternally immersed in Krishna, and Krishna is always immersed in Radha, and Radha is the queen of Vrindavan. I worship that Radhaji. So just as Radharani, when she opened her eyes and she saw only Krishna, similarly, when our spiritual eyes open, when we turn towards Him, what does that mean? When we are moving away from our vimukkhata, our aversion to Krishna, because Anadi Bahimok, Jiva Goswami has said, eternally we've been turned away from Krishna. Krishna himself has said in 11th canto, Anadi Avidya Yuktasya, with a time without beginning, we have been turned away from Krishna. So our very merciful Guru and Parampara, they are coming into this world. Just like Krishna said to Gopakumar and Brihapagatamrita, sending you so many things, sending you books, sending you this, sending you prasadam, programs here in Christchurch, doing so many things, but you're just, no. So I myself manifest as Jayanta, your Guru. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But, Krishna is so merciful. God's mercy is everywhere. But if we have our umbrella up, is that anyone else's fault? That is our fault. So when our eyes start to turn towards Krishna, that is the mercy of our acharyas. That is the mercy of Radharani. Because whatever devotion, whatever love we have, that is simply her love. And our Guru Parampara, they are coming as the messengers of her love and teaching us how, turn your head this way. And the degree to which we turn our head that way, we'll see the smiling face of Shama Sundar. And what happened when Radharani's eyes met Krishna's eyes? She started to cry for the first time, because when we come to Krishna, you will cry. Because that's the nature of Krishna. His love is crooked. So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.